The hidden secrets about Australian 20-cent coin. Welcome to the Old Coins Explorer, the ultimate treasure hunt. Imagine holding a coin that isn't just currency. It's a gateway to hidden history, untold stories, and surprising value. The Australian 20-cent coin, often overlooked in your change, could be worth far more than its face value. But it's not just about the money. It's about rarity, design, and fascinating facts that only few truly know. From mysterious waves surrounding the platypus to the secret minting errors that collectors crave, this coin holds secrets that can change the way you look at your pocket chain forever. Stick with us, because what you're about to discover will forever change the way you see the humble 20-cent coin. Let's dive deeper into the origins of this remarkable coin. Born from Australia's move to decimal currency in 1966, the 20-cent coin replaced the florin and carried forward a legacy of transformation in national identity. At 28.65 millimeters in diameter and weighing 11.3 grams, the coin is robust, featuring a unique and instantly recognizable reverse design, the graceful and elusive platypus swimming through stylized, rippling water. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, a master of coin artistry, who also designed many of Australia's most beloved coins. What makes this coin so engaging is the fusion of art and utility. The platypus itself is an Australian icon, a symbol of the country's one-of-a-kind wildlife and natural beauty. But while most Australians have seen this coin countless times, few realize that certain years and mints have produced editions that are incredibly rare and collectible. For example, the 1966 wavy baseline error is one of the most sought-after variants. In that version, the bottom of the numeral 2 has a distinct wave, making it worth hundreds, even thousands, depending on condition. As you move through your collection, or even sift through your loose change, you might stumble across different mint marks or subtle design shifts that elevate a common coin to the level of a collector's dream. Coins minted at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra often differ subtly from those minted overseas. In 1981, for example, the 20-cent coin was produced not only in Australia, but also in Canada. These Canadian minted coins have distinctive differences in the spacing and shape of the lettering and milling. Then there's the 1983 and 1984 coins. Although millions were minted, the majority were never released into circulation. Instead, they were stored and eventually melted down, making surviving examples especially rare and valuable. These aren't your everyday finds, and when discovered in uncirculated condition, their value can skyrocket. But rarity isn't the only thing that drives collector interest. Condition matters tremendously. Coins in mint or near-mint condition with full luster and no signs where it can fetch a high premium. Collectors often use a Sheldon scale to grade coins from poor, P1, to perfect uncirculated, MS70. A standard circulated 20-cent coin might only be worth its face value, but one graded MS65 or higher, especially if it's a rare year, can be worth significantly more. There's also a certain romance to coin collecting. Each coin has a story, not just in its design or minting history, but in its journey. Who held it before? Where has it traveled? Was it ever part of a special collection or hoarded during a period of economic uncertainty? The 20-cent coin, while small, plays a role in telling Australia's economic and cultural story over the decades. Many collectors begin their journey with everyday coins like the 20-cent piece. It's accessible, familiar, and yet it holds the potential for remarkable discoveries. From school kids to seasoned numismatists, the thrill of finding an undervalued treasure is what keeps the hobby alive. And the Australian 20-cent coin delivers just that, a blend of accessibility and hidden value. Over the years, there have also been commemorative versions of the 20-cent coin. One particularly beloved example is the 2001 centenary of Federation series. Each state and territory had its own unique reverse design. These coins were widely collected and are still a favorite among Australians. Their designs reflect the diversity and pride of the Federation, and some variants, particularly those in pristine condition, have appreciated nicely in value. Another commemorative issue that stands out is the 2016 50th anniversary of decimal currency coin. Though not rare, its design is highly symbolic and celebrates a major shift in Australian financial history. Commemoratives like these are windows into significant cultural milestones, and they carry not just numismatic but emotional value. Collectors also keep an eye on errors, which are among the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. Aside from the famous wavy baseline of 1966, there are also off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and double dies that can greatly increase a coin's value. These errors are usually the result of mechanical malfunction or misalignment during the minting process, and they add an element of uniqueness that no intentional design ever could. One real-world example: a 1966 20-cent coin with a wavy baseline error in almost uncirculated condition has sold for over 2,000 Australian dollars. That's 10,000 times its face value. And yes, it's still out there, in drawers, old piggy banks, and forgotten collections. Finding one might feel like winning the lottery, but knowing what to look for is half the battle. Interestingly, demand for Australian 20-cent coins isn't limited to the domestic market. International collectors, especially those who focus on Commonwealth currencies or wildlife-themed collections, often seek out specific Australian coins. The platypus, being such a distinct and rare animal, adds to the global appeal of this coin. Beyond individual collectors, investors also watch coin markets. Coins like the rare 1983 and 1984 issues, or error coins from 1966, are treated like assets that appreciate over time. Some even include high-grade specimens in investment portfolios, storing them in controlled environments to preserve value. With the rising popularity of tangible asset investment, coins like the 20-cent piece are gaining attention from a new wave of enthusiasts. So if you've ever dismissed that little silver coin as just spare change, think again. It might be the beginning of an incredible journey, one that teaches history, celebrates design, and might even make you a tidy profit. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, the Australian 20-cent coin is proof that sometimes treasure hides in plain sight. This is just the beginning of what there is to discover about the Australian 20-cent coin. Stay tuned for even more incredible facts, valuable insights, and collector secrets that will elevate your appreciation of this national icon to a whole new level. And now we uncover the final layer of this seemingly simple coin, what makes it not just valuable but unforgettable. You see, the Australian 20-cent coin isn't merely metal. It's a living record of history, an icon of culture, and a symbol of national pride. And what makes it truly exciting? You could be holding one of its rarest forms right now, without even realizing it. Let's talk more about commemoratives and why collectors treasure them so much. The 2001 centenary of Federation 20-cent coins, for instance, were released in several versions, each representing an Australian state or territory. These weren't just unique in design. They were a celebration of Australia's unity and heritage. Whether it's the intricate architecture of Sydney, the historic charm of Tasmania, or the bold identity of Western Australia, these coins gave Australians a new reason to appreciate everyday currency. In near-perfect condition, these coins fetch impressive prices today, especially full sets with little to no wear. But the 20-cent coin's power doesn't end with design. Have you heard of the 1966 wavy baseline error? Of course, we mentioned it earlier, but its significance grows deeper when you realize just how few of these exist. Most people have never seen one. If you're lucky enough to own one in top condition, collectors are willing to pay thousands. It's a perfect example of how a small imperfection can create massive value. Let's not forget minting anomalies. Off-center strikes, die cracks, cut marks. These aren't defects. They're rare events that add uniqueness. For example, a 1981 Canadian minted 20-cent coin with a partial collar error once sold for hundreds. It's this unpredictability that fuels the passion of every coin hunter. You never know what you'll find. And here's where things get even more fascinating. Many of these valuable coins are still in circulation. They weren't pulled. They weren't melted. They're out there, sitting quietly in wallets, jars, and glove compartments. That's why collectors are always alert. Every trip to the shop could turn into a discovery. Every handful of change could hold history. Beyond collecting, there's a deeper reason why people are drawn to the 20-cent coin. It connects generations. Maybe your grandfather handed you one with a story. Maybe you found a rare edition and researched its origins. These small, circular objects spark curiosity, learning, and appreciation for craftsmanship. They also reflect changes in society, from portrait updates of Queen Elizabeth II to evolving minting technology. And while the coin still circulates widely, its future may shift. With digital payments rising and cash usage declining, coins like the 20-cent piece could one day become relics of the past. That adds even more urgency and emotional value for those who want to preserve them. Imagine explaining to future generations that you collected a coin that once bought you a newspaper or helped you make a payphone call. So what should you do next? First, check your stash.